Prabhu was describing the extraordinary position of Srila Prabhupada in terms of his empowerment to spread Krishna consciousness. There is a verse in the Bhagavatam where I believe Rishi is describing Sukha Goswami, who is such a great spiritual master, he can enter into the hearts of all. Krishna is Paramatma, Antaryami, in the heart of everyone. He's the Surit, he's the dearmost friend of every living entity. He's the very self of our self. The greatness of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead is that he can be the self of every self, unlimited numbers of selves, and give a complete and perfect loving reciprocal relationship with unlimited personalities, qualitatively like himself. That is the greatness of God. The greatness of an actual pure devotee, of such a supreme personality of Godhead, as that he acts on behalf as the emissary, the representative of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and especially in this material world, where the living entities have forgotten their real happiness, their real shelter, their real identity, their real purpose. Such a personality is empowered to represent that supreme love, the perfection of reciprocation, and the shishastram, the nectar for which we were always anxious. So, Srila Prabhupada, in preparation to come to New York City, resided for a good number of years, I believe 8 or 9 years, in Sri Vrindavan Dham, which is the quintessential abode of Krishna, the supreme abode, Radha and Krishna. And we understand that in this age of Kali, we are worshiping Sri Radha Govinda, Radha and Krishna. They have united. The love of the divine couple is so great that they unite into one personality, and that personality is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who as the Yuga avatar, Yada Yada Yadharmas Yadlani Bhakti Bharata, whenever and wherever there was a decline in religious practice and a predominant rise of irreligion, I, Krishna said, descend myself and give the prescribed method to Paritranaya Sadhunam, uplift the faithful, and Vinashai Traduskritam, to dismantle, diminish, and curtail the activities of the Asura, the demon. So, of course, in this age, the primary method is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You can see in an early video of Srila Prabhupada, I believe it's Matchless Gifts. He's being asked, and he's telling the interviewer, my mission is to spread the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, which is the universal panacea for all living entities. Srila Prabhupada said that anyone who comes in contact with this chanting, even for Svalpamapiyasa Dharmasya, even a moment, and that's even broken down even more fragmentally in the Bhagavatam, 1/11th of a second is enough to ensure one's complete perfection. Of course, that chanting must be heard from the lips of the pure devotee. So when Srila Prabhupada chants Hare Krishna and initiates us, the meaning of initiation, you're initiated into the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. So we are this is the power and glory of disciplic succession, Guru Parampara, transcending all time and space. We shouldn't lament if we were born and say, I just missed Srila Prabhupada's association. I was born in 1959. I was only 18 years old when Srila Prabhupada passed in this world. I didn't come to this world until 1978. But I never felt any lack of reciprocation or association with Srila Prabhupada because of dedicating oneself to his mission. As we were saying, this is a movement for sincere persons who are actually seeking God, pure, saintly, motivated personalities. Vishva Vaishnav Sabaraj, the inner circle of supreme relatives of the personality of God. That was a term given to society of devotees by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Srila Bhaktivinoda Saraswati. So ISKCON, a different name, is of the same nature in essence. So, Srila Prabhupada, living in Vrindavan, there is a verse, a very exalted verse, written in the 1500s by Srila Rupa Goswami, in regards to the glories of Sri Radha Govinda, which is the topmost of all holy places within Sri Vrindavan Dham. And it's describing that no person of spiritual intelligence would give up residing at Sri Radha Govinda. It is the supreme perfection of life. Even Srila Prabhupada is leaving Vrindavan to come here, to of all places, New York City. All of the residents of Sri Vrindavan were trying to dissuade him, do not go. But that transcendental intelligence was on a higher platform to come here and to spread the glories of Radha Govinda, the glories of Radha Raya, the glories of Radha and Govinda to all of us. Prabhupada says in one place, in his last translated chapter 13 of the 10th canto, what was once an empty corner has now become a great transcendental place of pilgrimage. Such are the desires of a pure devotee. So, in the same way, I will humbly put forth, no one of spiritual intelligence will give up the preaching in this New York City. Where Srila Prabhupada put 15 continuous months of his life, from October 1965 till January 1966, residing here continuously. And Prabhupada's first desire, after establishing Krishna consciousness in New York, just his disciples went to San Francisco, and there was the second temple. But his first idea in his mind was to create an American house, to make an American temple, and that ultimately became the Krishna Mandir. So the very, very intimate relationship with Shri Radha Govinda Mandir and Sri Vrindavan Dham. Our Sarupa Prabhu was instrumental in completing, which had been long neglected for 7 or 8 long years after Prabhupada's departure, Prabhupada's glorious Samadhi in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So, as Prabhupada came here, we should see the correlation between preaching on behalf of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada and the ultimate attainment of Sri Vrindavan Dham. And how much more glorious it is to not just bring yourself back home back to God and Vrindavan, but to bring as many people and as living entities as possible. That is the mood of Srila Prabhupada, that is his mission, that is his line. We should try to be his followers. Thank you very much. All glories to his divine grace.
So we're going to extend a little bit because